What is up, guys? What is up? This is JD Rich coming back at you with another One Piece discussion and video. Today, we are quickly going over the alleged brief spoilers for chapter One Piece 1162. Now, I'll admit I was a little tripped out when I read these spoilers, man, because I'm like, from how the spoilers are delivered, it seems like we could be leaving the flashback in a couple of chapters, and I hope not too soon. Oh man, I hope this flashback does not end the way I think it ends, with like us not getting what we were expecting to get as far as an actual fight between Zebek, Roger, and Garp. Like, come on, man, we have to get that. We have to. But let's get straight into it, because like you would not believe this. So first spoiler, it says we got Gecko Moria. Shout out to Pew Peace, P-E-W Peace. Go follow him on Twitter. I don't have one, but I tracked him down and whatnot. Now, go follow Pew Peace on Twitter, because that's where these brief spoilers came from. Shout out to Pew Peace. Now, we got Gecko Moria. Apparently, in the cover story, it appears that Gecko Moria is actually crying and sobbing over the grave of Kozuki Oden. And he's really distraught, like at the loss of his supposed friend or maybe relative, because he is Kozuki Moria. So it's safe to say they're related. So this could be a cousin, uncle, or I don't know if I can say brother. I don't know. It could, and if it is, man, how crazy would it be if he was like maybe like the little brother of Oden? You know, what if, because we don't know if Oden had siblings or not. But I'm just going to say cousin for right now. I'll stick with cousin because they are technically related by the fact that Moria is a Kozuki. Now, he's crying over Oden's grave, but he's also wishing revenge on Kaido for his fallen comrade. Like, he's wishing revenge on Kaido. Like, yo, this isn't over, man. I'm going to avenge the Kozuki name, especially for Oden-sama. So I'm just paraphrasing, but he's crying over Oden's grave, and he's really reminiscing and really remorseful for the loss of Oden. And he's very strong, heartstrong on getting revenge on Kaido. So that may be what when we actually see later on in the story, as we saw in the anime and even in the manga, when Kozuki Moria actually went to war against Kaido. That may have been a payback war in a Wano sense, with Moria trying to avenge Oden through taking out Kaido. So I thought that was a very cool detail for the cover story. I actually enjoyed it. I really like this. I mean, I don't mind the Yamato stuff we're getting, but it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere for real. I mean, yeah, I get it. She's learning about Yamato. She's learning about Wano, exploring different regions. I think that's pretty cool, but I want to see that culminate into something extravagant for her, like going forward, you know, because she was supposedly going to join the crew, but I guess that didn't happen. So we still have one more member to get. There's still one more crew member to be joining Luffy's crew. So now, moving forward, we see that the Roger Pirates in these brief spoilers, the Roger Pirates have actually secured the treasure of God Valley. Remember the last chapter that we seen, after they saved Shaki, Roger told everybody, okay, we got Shaki, raid the treasure, and let's get out of here and pull out. So apparently they got the legendary treasure of Wano. Now I got my notes because I had to go over it via my notes so I didn't forget and I didn't get stammered away in detail. But yeah, they got the treasure of God Valley, and also they got Shaki, and they're leaving right now. So Rayleigh, we get a statement from him. He says that the power of this treasure could change the world. Now, let's stop right there. The power of this treasure could change the world. What could this be? Because in my mind, you may think it may refer to possibly an ancient weapon. It may refer to that of a poneglyph. It may refer to something else completely different that we don't expect. Like, and the thing is, my speculation, and I'm going to mention this again later on when I get to the last point of these brief spoilers, I think it may have something to do with the ancient weapons. Something related to the ancient weapons. Or it could have something to do with Joy Boy. I know what you're thinking. Why would it have anything to do with Joy Boy? Who knows? After all, we saw a robot. We seen a robot carrying Joy Boy's hockey and unleash it, right? You know, we seen Joy Boys Hockey get unleashed by a ancient robot. So who knows what this treasure could be that they're holding. I'm just super curious now. But I also want to see more of the fights that we're supposedly going to get, because the Roger Pirates seem to be leaving and evacuating the island now. So what happened after this? Like, don't tell me that this is truly going to be how it ends without any further interaction with Roger and Xebec. That's what I'm really looking forward to. But I trust Oda. Maybe he might save that for when we get back to Elbaf and we go to another flashback through another character. Who knows? But I'm just saying, man, a lot of people are going to be disappointed that if we don't see a Xebec and Roger fight. I'm just saying, you built the story up you built this flashback up for it to go on this long. Have us meet up here with all these legends on the island. You're not going to give us a fight? Like a real fight? Come on, Odin. I know you wouldn't do us like that. I know you wouldn't leave us hanging like that, Oda. Please don't do that. But I still love the story. I still love what you're doing, Oda, regardless. And I got love for you, Oda. Shout out to you out there. Now, next, and Roger actually laughs. After Rayleigh says that the power of whatever this treasure is that we're wondering about could change the world, Roger laughs. He just laughs. So what could this treasure be, man? Like, and the fact that Roger's reaction was to laugh, like, this has got to be something else. This has got to be something completely out of the ordinary, or just something so extraordinary it just triggered this type of reaction from Roger. We still don't know. And yet this is like something. Man, I think it may have something to do with the ancient weapon Poneglyph, or something along the lines of Joy Boy's history as a pirate, like an artifact that Joy Boy collected, maybe a weapon of Joy Boy's that he used. Who knows? But this is something we really have to get more information on. Now, apparently it shows Shanks is actually seen in a small boat with another child, and they're escaping. Who this other child is, I have no idea. It says something about a child named Ran, or a child. From the way it's translated, it's very misconstrued. It appears that baby Shanks is in a small boat with another kid. We don't know if this is translated to where this kid ran and jumped in a small boat with Shanks, or the kid's name and our identity is Ran. So, I don't know, man. That's what the brief spoiler said. But apparently, Shanks and another kid are in a boat together, a small boat, and they're seen escaping. Dragon apparently put them in that small boat. So it said that Roger and we got shown in the anime, and I think in the manga, that Roger and Rayleigh found Shanks. So could it be a case of, instead of finding Shanks on their ship, they found Shanks aboard a small boat and agreed to actually, because the boat may have capsized going towards Roger, or the boat may have may have been headed towards Roger's ship, possibly bumped it, who knows. But if that was the case, it may have capsized. It would have capsized if that was the case. But what if Roger and Rayleigh or someone in the crew spotted the baby Shanks, not even baby Shanks, but spotted the boat with nobody on it, and they decided to bring the boat to their ship, wrangle it up somehow through a member and their abilities doing that, and then they discover, oh, there's a baby on this little small boat. There was a baby just drifting in. Who's this other kid? So who knows? And the thing is, the fact that they're saying that Shanks was with another kid right here, I could think that it's Buggy, but then again, it's like, no, because they're the same age. Buggy would be 1 year old as well. The way they're describing this, they're describing it like a full child, like a 5-year-old or something like that. I'm just guessing the age. It's just on this boat with Shanks, this small boat. So apparently Dragon put Shanks on a small boat, allegedly. These are all brief spoilers. So we can't really confirm until the full spoilers come out, but these are brief. Now, moving on, Rox is actually wounded in these spoilers that have just dropped. Rox is apparently wounded. He's wounded and damaged somehow due to a combined assault from the world government teaming up. So this may be, we may see more of the Gods Knights actually, and we may see them actually attacking Xebec. if not attacking Zebek, who else of the world government could be doing this? Could these be Celestials teaming up and attacking them? Because I don't think they have the heart to do that. So the Celestials are cowards, as is shown. Like, they're blaming the Marines for all the damage being done here, and they're also trying to be protected by the Marines at the same time, while holding them accountable via we'll kill you, we'll have you all killed if anything happens to any of us or whatever. So I wouldn't really put it past the Celestials to possibly sneak attack Zebek as if they're all together because they got numbers, maybe. Who knows? But who could be attacking? It says it's a combined assault from the world government on Zebek, and Zebek is actually wounded. So I'm just wondering, like, you got to be pretty strong to be attacking this man and to be wounding him like that. For him to just take it as well. You know, even if he is just taking it, you would think he'd be able to, like, scoff it off at some point. Or just scoff it off in general and just chalk it up to his hockey defending himself. I don't know. But my guess is I'm going to assume that probably the God's Knights are the ones who wounded him. Like, in a group. Maybe not Mafi and Garling or whatever. Wait, no, scratch that. Maybe not Mafi and Somers, because Mafi is off doing, I guess, regenerating, recuperating herself. Somers is blown away by Rayleigh, as we saw last chapter. So that leaves the remaining God's Knights of Garling, the other brunette-haired woman, the sniper girl, the Grim Reaper-looking guy with the skull and the scythe, and then the Yeti, and then Gunko. So you got 6 God's Knights who actually remain in the turmoil of the battle. So, if not all of them, but maybe there's a decent amount of them, 3 or 4, or maybe even 2, who are actually attacking Rox D. Zebek at this moment. Because it says that Rox is actually wounded, and he's wounded while protecting Teach. He's wounded while protecting Teach, and as he's shielding Teach, he's shielding his son, he tells him, hey, carry on the will of darkness. Carry on. He's telling this boy to carry on the will of darkness. So it's no coincidence that Blackbeard ate that fruit later on because of the words that his father told him right here and there. And I still believe that Blackbeard is like 2 years old during this flashback too, because Shanks is 1. So he tells him to carry on the will of darkness. Not carry on my will, carry on the will of darkness. But what if the will of darkness is Zebek's will? And what if the will of darkness is not only Zebek's will, it's the will of Davy Jones? Like, what if, because think about this. How dark could it be for you to sink, right, with your ship in the sea, and for Davy to just collect your soul and send you to his locker? Because Davy Jones' locker is some form of an abyss. It's some form of an abyss where the souls of pirates and their ships get collected and they get led to. And you're bound to serve Davy Jones now. This is your sentence, to be in my locker and to be aboard my Flying Dutchman, I guess. So, Davy Jones, man, I think this is a reference to Davy Jones. Carry on the will of darkness. Like, this could be a reference to Davy Jones, undoubtedly. But for him to tell Teach this, because remember, the Yami Yami no Mi comes into play as Blackbeard is later older. But the will of darkness, that's why he was looking for that fruit. That's why he was looking for that fruit the whole time, because the darkness fruit is a specific devil fruit that Blackbeard had his eyes on since the beginning of the story. So, because I think Blackbeard even carries a devil fruit encyclopedia, as it was mentioned in the SBS maybe. So, his father told him to carry on the will of darkness. He naturally tracks down the dark fruit, only for it to end up in the hands of Thatch and for him to get stabbed by Teach, for Teach to take the Yami Yami. It's crazy, man. These spoilers are insane. Like, I just can't believe, like, how does this affect Teach growing up to carry on the will of darkness? He never sleeps. That's another reveal that we have to get an explanation why from. But he never sleeps, and he was carrying the will of darkness. Could him spiritually carrying the will of darkness and the ambition to carry on darkness, could that be tied to why he doesn't sleep? Could that be the explanation? Knowing One Piece and how it works, it damn well could be, but we still cannot confirm that. But we can halfway we can halfway confirm it. I guess halfway. We can't fully confirm it. But this is just so interesting, man. Telling your son to carry on the will of darkness. But what does that say about Zebek's will himself? What does that say about his will? Because I think it's connected back to Davy Jones. But yeah, like that really tripped me out in this spoilers, man. So I guess we'll get another explanation when the full spoilers come out. I think this will be more. We'll get a slight more detail on this when the full spoilers are revealed and dropped. But these are just the brief ones. Oh, and I'm just gonna say this now. There's allegedly no break the following week, so we're getting another 3 chapters back to back. If that's the case, Oda, thank you. Thank you so much, Oda. Thank you. Now, moving on, Xebec actually unleashes a final attack. It says that Xebec unleashes a final attack that actually shakes the island itself. And I'm really curious about what this attack is, because I know for a fact that it has Haki in it. I know for a fact that this has to have Conqueror's Haki inside of it. For him to shake this whole island, Xebec doesn't have a devil fruit. As far as we've seen thus far, with every moment we've seen him using his sword and whatnot, he doesn't have a devil fruit, but he's a renowned swordsman. And him using his Haki is combined with his swordsmanship ability. So this attack, I'm really just curious if it's like, you know how in Dragon Ball Z in the games, you could unleash an explosive wave. What if it's like a wave of Conqueror's Haki just unleashed? His Conqueror's Haki is that great, he could shake the island with it. I don't put it past him. I won't put it past him at all for him to shake this island with this allegedly final attack that he's using. I think there's a bunch of Conqueror's Haki that comes into play within this attack, and it's so overwhelming, the island itself starts to shake. So I think this is a Conqueror's ability that we are going to see from Xebec, his own personal attack. Like a final, I guess, it's like a Vegeta moment. Remember when Vegeta was fighting Majin Buu and he went out, explosive wave, like that? This could be the equivalent of that, except it involves Haki, and this is a Haki variation of such an attack. So this could be a final explosive wave done via Conqueror's Haki. So Xebec, and the thing is, man, it says that after he does this attack, he actually disappears. His fate is unknown. After this attack happens, he disappears. So this tells me that this is a self-sacrificing attack, an all-out last hurrah to basically send his enemies not only a message, but to send them to their graves. So Xebec makes the whole island shake with this attack. But what's crazy is this. His fate is unknown after. He just disappears. Because I've been speculating on this for a long time. Could this be, like this may add to my speculation, because I thought that Xebec actually preserved himself. Like, think about X-Men, the Phoenix Force, right? If you've seen the movie X2, remember how Jean sacrificed herself so everybody could get off the island and get off Stryker's facility and whatnot? Jean sacrificed herself, but at the end of the movie, in like a little cutscene or whatever, they show a glowing phoenix signal inside the water. That Jean was like, it showed that Jean was like practically alive. She didn't drown and get crushed by the dam. Jean actually held it together, and she preserved herself in a Phoenix Force cocoon. So, taking the Phoenix Force concept, could you apply that concept with that of Conqueror's Haki? Is there a way that you can actually preserve your livelihood using Conqueror's Haki to go inside of a cryostasis of your own willpower and energy of your will, to where you preserve yourself and then you don't wake up for however many years later, if you wake up at all? Who knows? So Teach is actually crying. Teach is in the next panel, in the next spoiler, Teach is crying after, I guess, witnessing this, because he allegedly witnessed his father's alleged death. I still don't think he's dead. It says his fate is unknown, so that doesn't tell me that this man is dead. He could be, though. It could have been a self-sacrifice thing, so he could be dead, but his fate is unknown. So since it's unknown, we can rule out that he's not dead. Could be, but he's not. You know, like his fate is unknown. So, is he dead? No. Is he alive? Possibly. And if he is alive, he's alive by a will of spirit, maybe. But Teach is crying at this moment. He's actually sobbing, and he's silently like, bawling his eyes out, and then it says that Kaido and Big Mom are actually dragging him away from the battlefield. Where were you guys? Let me just think about this, man. Kaido and Big Mom are dragging him away. They're dragging Teach away from all this madness and mayhem. I know Zebek wasn't exactly around them because he was looking for his wife and kid, but he found them. And then for it to say that Kaido and Big Mom dragged Teach away from the madness, it shows me that they eventually caught up to Zebek and were able to see what was going on, but it may have been too late for them to have any type of reaction because Zebek already unleashed his attack, and all they could do was just grab his son. I got a feeling that this is going to be a very sad chapter as far as what we see from Blackbeard's background. This is going to be a very sad chapter, man. So they drag him away from the battlefield. And then this last brief spoiler, I'm reading this. Roger stares at the alleged treasure of God Valley. And he actually says something. He says, a story yet unfinished. Now, that's the brief spoiler variation from what we could possibly also speculate this as being. We could say a story left unfinished, but it says a story yet unfinished. But it could go either way, even though the brief spoiler says a story yet unfinished. This leads me back to my first thinking when I said that the weapon, the treasure, could be an ancient weapon, or it could be something that ties into Joy Boy. It could be something connected to Joy Boy. Like, what if it's a weapon that Joy Boy allegedly used in his battle against Imu, and Imu had this thing here on God Valley? But then again, if that's the case, why would Imu have such a treasure? If the treasure is connected to Joy Boy, why would Imu have such a thing on this island and not within custody in the Holy Land, But either way, if that's not the case, I still think this may have something to do with Joy Boy. It may have something to do with the ancient weapon and Joy Boy, like a culmination of both, What could this thing be? What is this treasure? What is it, man? And on top of that, Rayleigh said it has the power to change the world. This damn well, for a fact, could be an ancient weapon, and it also could be connected to Joy Boy. How? I don't know. It could have been something that Joy Boy used in his fight with Imu, but was unsuccessful with it, maybe. Because Imu did come out with the dub when he fought Joy Boy. So, either way, Joy Boy went out swinging. But what could this be? I know I'm going to keep saying that, but I know for a fact it's connected. I can speculate for a fact that it's connected to both the ancient weapons, the ancient kingdom, and also Joy Boy. Because something tells me that, like, the fact that Roger says a story yet unfinished, that line makes me think of Joy Boy, because it's like Luffy is basically about to do what Joy Boy could not do back then. Whatever Joy Boy felt like, the promise that Joy Boy was supposed to keep, and also what the task that he was supposed to carry out under the premise of such a promise that he failed to keep. This falls on Luffy's shoulders now for his generation. So Luffy is not only going to fulfill Joy Boy's promise, this weapon right here that we find in the brief spoilers could be connected to that. It could be something that Luffy also needs to acquire in order to fulfill Joy Boy's promise. Because Luffy is going to become the king of the pirates. But in order to actually topple Imu, I think Luffy is going to need this treasure. He's going to need this treasure that Roger has with on his ship right now. So this may have a lot to do with Joy Boy's promise, and it may have a lot to do with Joy Boy carrying out the will of seeing this promise through. So this could be something, like I said, this could be something connected to the Ancient Kingdom, the fate of the Ancient Kingdom and such. Also, Joy Boy's promise and everything that Luffy has to do going forward in order to change the world for the new dawn to really usher in. So, man, this has been an amazing brief spoiler run, man. I gotta say, I'm impressed with this chapter. Allegedly, like I said, the full spoilers we have yet to get, and they're gonna, I guess, provide more confirmation on some of the things that I just went over, because I'm hearing about them just like everybody else. Shout out to Pew Piece for putting these out. So yeah, man, we got a lot to think about, man. We have a lot to think about and a lot to reminisce going over through this story, man. So, you know, also Rocks, man, like what's crazy is this could be his final moment. This could be like, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but it's so unexpected when you consider the fact that we're supposed to get Rocks, Roger, and Garp all fighting. So what does Oda have planned with this thing? It says that Rocks' fate is unknown, and this is like the last tack and a legend moment that we ever see from him going forward, as it's speculating this out to be. So I don't think this is, I mean, it is what it is, but I still don't think it's right that we're potentially being robbed of a final confrontation between Rocks and Roger, and Garp for that matter, man. I wanted to see Rocks' reaction to Garp being here. I mean, we may still get it. It's a possibility. His fate is unknown. So what if we see him come back after everybody's off the island, and then like everybody as far as like the under crews and lieutenants and whatnot, but we still see Roger and Garp here. And also it says that Roger and Garp protected the Celestials, but yet Roger is depicted to be leaving the island now. So if he's allegedly leaving the island, and that with this treasure of the island, how does he end up protecting Celestials? What happens then? What is going on, man? Oda has a lot of explaining to do, and he's gonna do it, you know, in his own Oda way. But this is crazy if this is the last moment from Rocks. A beautiful moment, but still, come on, man. It could have gone another way. It could have gone another way. It could have gone in a different direction, where we still see Roger gets to interact with Teach. Because one, what's really tripping me out is this. This is Rocks. Roger. I said Roger and Teach. I meant to say Xebec, Rocks, and Teach. So, as I said going on, man, this is what's tripping me out. Rocks and Teach, this is their final moment together. But where is Eris? Where is the mother? Could it be as I expected? Could Rocks have discovered her already dead? Could he have potentially discovered Eris's body protecting Teach? Like, she's dead, but she's holding Teach in her arms. So could she already be dead right now? And Rocks probably could have arrived too late, just in time to protect his son, but too late to protect his wife. We'll all find out when the full spoilers come out, man. It may not tell us everything, but when that chapter gets revealed next week, this is going to be beautiful. Or this week. The chapter may be coming out this week, this Sunday. So, yeah. And also, there's rumored to be no break from what these brief spoilers have said. There's rumored to be no break next week. So, we're getting a triple threat again. And I love it, man. I love it when Oda does this. But at the same time, it tells me that there's still some important stuff that he's fleshing out later. When Oda drops these back-to-back chapters, like simultaneously 3 at a time, you know, when he does this, it just tells me we're getting more information, but we're stalling on certain action that we're expecting throughout the story, because he's not ready to tell us or reveal to us what led up to these actions, and we're getting the buildup of such through these simultaneous triple threats of chapters that we are getting. So, kudos, man. Kudos to Oda. I can already tell this is going to be a beautiful chapter, a sad chapter at that. And yeah, man, let's just see where the chips fall. Again, I'm JD Rich, coming at you with another One Piece video and discussion, man. And remember, a piece of life is life in one piece. Peace.